Well, good evening, all. I'm Epstein, and here we are with your metal market wrap-up, and I hope you're not as cold as I've been today. I mean, I woke up, it was 3 degrees outside. Last night it was about 5, 8 below zero, and maybe it hit 8 or 10 today, and now the temperatures are dropping again. I'm in my sweaters and just taking it easy. I tried to go out. It's just too cold. Any wind chill, and it's like 20 below zero. That'll change, too. So we've got a lot going on right now. So let's take a look at the market news. You're going to get the MBA mortgage numbers at 6 a.m. tomorrow. The new housing starts and building permit data will come in at 7:30. If Toll Brother numbers were any sense of what's going on, these probably won't be all that good. Redbook Group will update their weekly U.S. retail sales data at 7:55. At 1 in the afternoon, we're going to get the FOMC minutes from January. I'm not looking for them to spill the beans on anything. We'll get the API numbers tomorrow at 3:30. President Trump, again today, threatens new tariffs. Now, I'm so confused. Didn't he just go through a week of telling us what reciprocal tariffs were going to be? But all of a sudden today, he's talking 25% tariffs on autos. He wants to do pharmaceuticals, but before he does that, he'd like them to build factories here. I don't know what that's about. And of course, chips. Okay, computer chips are always in the game. Howard Lutnick was confirmed by the Senate as Commerce Secretary. So congratulations on that. The teams are in place. And today, President Trump won a court battle. I brought it up yesterday, telling you that he had gone to court on President's Day, which is highly unusual, but it didn't sound to me like the judge was going to go away from anything. And to make a long story short, while there's a Department of Energy, I don't know if it's an official department of anything, and Musk runs it, he's an advisor. He hasn't been approved by anybody. He tells the president what he thinks, and the court lives with that. So the court turned down 14 states that challenged it, which means the layoffs, the firings, all that goes into place. Nothing has stopped there at all. I don't think challenging presidential authority is going to win from the Democrats to keep coming at the president. And I think the U.S. public is looking at what's going on. We're seeing more job cuts than you can imagine. FHA today, they're getting cuts. Insurance parts of the government, they're getting cuts one way or the other. It just continues to go on. And eventually, there's going to be a lot of savings here. Now, if there's enough savings, the public's going to look back and say, what is that? I've got to bring up one other thing. What happens to all these people letting go? When are we going to see the unemployment claims shoot up from that? That's important. And of course, the claim that Musk came out last night about millions of people on Social Security from 110 years of age on. I was amazed to hear that. We will see. I don't know if they're getting checks or not. And I don't know why they haven't been purged from the system. So I just don't know. All right, nor do you. We find out these pieces one at a time. For the metal markets, the first meeting between Russia and the U.S. went as expected. They've opened lines of communication with each other. I didn't understand Zelensky saying he was going to go to Saudi Arabia as all this had gone on, because doing so, what is he accomplishing? And he canceled that trip. He also made it clear, you can do all you want. Ukraine will be no part of any treaty unless they have a seat at the table. Of course they're going to get a seat at the table, all right? And so will Europe. The first thing is, what do you have to talk about at the table? And you can't do that with every party going at each other all the way through. I think the U.S. is the right party to set this up, not agree to anything, I pray. And then everybody starts talking. You've got to start lines of communication to end it. The gold market's looking at all this tariff news. The gold's looking at what's going on here, and it's saying to itself, inflation, and it's agreeing with that. The dollar was up today, but 38 points. I'm not convinced the dollar looks good. I'm going to do a recap report for you. I wanted to do it today. We got so busy with people signing up for our free trial. Remember what I said? 2 weeks free trial to my morning subscriber videos and my full research, even if you've had a free trial before, but you have to sign up by today, irapstein.com, free offers. As of midnight Central Time, The deal is over and you cannot get it, all right? It was just for the 4 days in the President's Day time frame. So as I look at all these, I understand copper holding in here, but copper's done well. We're now at the 18th of February. You know that China's going to try to do something to improve its economy. Copper is the canary in the mine. You always watch that to see what it's doing. As we look at the gold market, it's now at 29.3160. Goldman Sachs joined in the parade today, calling for $3,100 gold this year. I started that off, if you'll remember, when you were 28.50, and I said, I see 3,000 coming this year, and we still haven't hit the 3,000 level. So we'll see if the market gets there or not. This is called distribution. And what the market has done is it's come up and gone just sideways on you. One big day down. I'll show it to you. Let me step back here. Here you go. Market down $44. That's not a small drop in the market. And today the market's up $48. So if you think these are small moves, these are almost $5,000 moves on a regular size futures contract. You can trade the smaller contracts, of course, but that's basically what you're dealing with here. Let me bring you up to date. And this is where you're at right now. So when I look at the swing line, you still have higher lows and higher highs in place. That is bullish. The swing line connects the prior bar. You can do this on a 5-minute chart, a 1-minute chart, a daily chart, a weekly, a monthly. My technique will work on every one of those if it's a bar chart with a time frame. So it says it's in an uptrend. The market, as I told you, you were going to see the 18-day average come up towards prices. It did. It didn't break down at all. Literally, the market opened a fraction lower yesterday. Remember, you're sitting here with half a day on Monday of trade, and they combined it into today. So you've got to understand that that's what the markets do on President's Day and some of the other holidays. They'll open Sunday night, then the Monday trades early. They roll Tuesday into it, and then you come up like you're doing. If the market wants to keep going up, 29.9170 could be the Bollinger Band top. I've said 3,000. I didn't expect it this fast, and I still don't. I wouldn't be surprised if we still try to meander around here. Now, this is the most important thing to me that happened today. If you'll recall, and I mentioned this to you last night, you had lost the bullish embedded reading. And the only time you can get it back is the next day. In order to get it back, because you were down $44, you had to have a big rally today. Go and see what I said last night. I didn't predict we'd rally. If the market kept it down, wherever price in the 18-day average came in, that's where I thought the market could go. But if it gains it back, it's called a bear trap. And guess what? Bear trap laid, both numbers back over the 80 level. So now, if the market's going to keep going, the logical sequence is if the bears are caught, and you'll know that if you don't take out today's lows again, take that out, you got a real problem. Without that occurring, I think the 3,000 level could be challenged. When we look at the gold-silver ratio, on a ratio basis, you can see how the market is still underneath the 18-day average, which means you need fewer ounces of silver to get an ounce of gold. When it's over it and the higher the numbers go, you have to have more ounces of silver. It's another way of saying that the silver chart is stronger than the gold in a different way. Number one, that it loses much. Number two, what happened? So we can go back on the history because a lot of you weren't around. So on Friday, the market, and this is the Friday close, okay, you were up 0.129. Remember, the gold market was down $44. Today, the market adds 51 cents. So those 2 days, instead of being in 2 days for gold up $4 and silver really up 53 cents, it keeps that ratio going. Does that make sense to you? I hope it does. It's the best way I know to explain it. The pattern is not one, though, of a trend like in gold. You have a lower low, higher high. You had one hit of the upper band, and instead of being embedded, you're just overbought. Not impressed. In the copper market, you lost the bullish embedded reading, so let's come together and see when that happened. This is today, the 18th, and this is Friday. So it just happened today. If the market doesn't regain it tomorrow, and I don't expect it to, but if it doesn't, I look for price and the 18-day average to come together. The red line is the 18-day average of closes. The gray line here is the 200-day, and this number is the green, the 100-day. Everything I do is color coordinated to make life easy. The Bollinger Bands are in black. You can see them up there and there. You can always see the values on the charts. It's very easy. When we come to the platinum market, you sank down today under the previous low. The market had lost, and this is what I say when you lose an embedded reading, you always got to be careful of. Let's take it right through here. Here's Thursday, and on Friday you lose that reading. If you don't gain the reading back immediately, the odds favor you're going to come in to the 18-day average of closes. And unlike gold, it's exactly what it did, and tonight you're just bouncing. So the market's now in a support area. It's not in a trend. Markets that lose an bullish embedded reading often first become oversold, and this market already tonight is worked out of that. Neither number is in a 70 reading or higher, and that's what determines overbought. Last in the dollar index, I'm concerned that the market is saying that a top is formed in the dollar. I'd like to see a rally in the market. I think the pros would be willing sellers, and it wouldn't surprise me if gold wants to settle back somewhere between 106.50 and the 105.90 level. And if that all gave ground, be careful, 104.30. So as bullish as I had been, this chart picture right now is not in the bull camp. Could it all change when the tariffs hit and something happens? Of course it could. But we're a long ways from that. Again, those tariffs are not going to kick in, the reciprocal ones, whatever they mean, until at least April 2nd. What I don't know is what happens with Canada and Mexico's tariffs, because they were due to happen right at the beginning of March. And again, I admit, and I think you should, to total confusion. Which ones are on the table? Why did the president today say 25% auto tariffs when he said reciprocal? Well, whatever Europe's got on our cars, we should put on theirs. But he keeps talking about Europe as he says this. And today they were doing that. So I'm going to repeat again for you. I almost fell on my cord there. Simply put, we have our free offers. And this includes access to the charting software that I've got if you sign up for that, our trading kit with all the information, my daily info, access to the morning webinars. You get it tonight. If you've had a free offer in the past, you want another one, this is your time. Probably won't do this offer again for a year. So this is your chance, and you can come in and take a look again and then decide if this is for you. I can tell you this much. It's been fun trading the beginning of the year, and I'm very excited. There's a number of markets that have been exciting, and we're trying to participate as best as we can, and then we'll see where they go. So it's iraepstein.com, free offers. Move your cursor to the top. That'll take you there as well. And I'll see you all in the other updates I do tonight. And, of course, first thing in the morning. Take care.